Amos, who looked at the old Delta Integrale and found himself wondering, what would it be like if Lancia made it today? How would it feel? How would it go? And then he stopped wondering and decided to find out. This is what he came up with. The engine is a 16-valve 2-litre turbo, as it was before, but it has new rods, new pistons, a new turbocharger, and a lot of electronic tweaking, so now it develops 330 horsepower. Go. I love this car precisely because it isn't an Audi. And I love it because someone cared enough to make it. And I love it most of all because it's giving me my youth back. Oh God, it is a bloody brilliant car, this. Speed is the answer. It is quite scary through here. Oh no! Savage acceleration. Can I go a bit faster? That's 140 more than you got in the old car. And there's more good news. Most of the body panels and suspension components are now made from either aluminium or carbon fibre. And there are two advantages to that. Number one, they won't rust. And number two, they're light. And because of all this work, this car is pretty quick. There's a fair bit of period turbo lag, as you can hear. But when it gets on song, bloody hell! No. Drive fast. Oh, dearie me. Holy. Oh! Go! Oh, for God's oh no. Flat out, yeah? I am a horse of a man. Oh my God. Drive fast. No! I love speeding. That'll do. Oops. Oh, God. Get a bloody move on. Oh no! Go, 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 go! It does 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. And flat out, it'll be doing more than 160 miles an hour. The best thing, though, is that all the understeer you got in the original car has been replaced with an extraordinary amount of grip and neutrality. You have got to love the Italians, haven't you? I mean, Eugenio said a lot of the stuff in here wasn't working because if it was working, then it would be an Audi. There is, however, one problem. It costs £250,000. Into Crawley, here we go. Didn't bother filming it, but we haven't got the time. Oh. Well, no, look at it this way. It's actually the same speed as a BMW M2.
I think I can also claim quite reasonably that the old Mercedes A45 would go around the track faster than that.
Yeah, and be a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yes,
just a fact.
but everything on a Mercedes would work. And who wants that? Be dull. It's what Eugenio was saying. You don't want German stuff. You aren't in the Italian frame of mind, you two.
Oh, we're not?
No, you're not. That's the trouble. Has anyone here got an Italian car?
No, they're not here, are they? They didn't make it. It's raining.
Did you? Yes, that is a good point, actually. It's also very windy, and before the tent blows away, we should get on.
We should. We must move on.
Yeah, let's move it on. Now, earlier on, Jeremy was listing all the wonderful and remarkable cars that Lancia have made over the years. But let's not forget, Porsche has also made some rather remarkable cars.
Absolutely. There was the 911. There was another sort of 911. There was a slightly different 911 that was green.
Yes, I know. But this year marks the 50th anniversary of what I think must be the greatest Porsche of them all.
Is it a 911?
No. It's called the Porsche 917. And even if you have no interest in motorsport, you'll most likely recognise this machine, because it's quite possibly the most iconic racing car ever created. The first thing you need to know is that although the 917 looks like a big, wide car, actually, it isn't.
Ow.
I'm in. God, it's tiny. Holy mother! Away! Porsche is the most successful car maker ever to race at Le Mans. They have 19 victories to their name. But this is the car that started it all. This is the car that gave them that all-important first win. The following year at Le Mans, on the way to another crushing victory, it would go through the speed traps at over 241 miles an hour, a record that stood for more than 20 years. And in that same race, it was so fast it would cover a total of 3